To honour Nick DAICOS after being elected into the All-Australian once again, winning the Champions Award. Also, we're going to look at some of his best goals dating back to 2022 up until the present moment. He's got a few bangers, so I'm going to task myself with the unpleasant task of trying to rank some of these goals that he's kicked and put them in specific tier lists. So let's start from early in the season in 2022. We're going to go with Nick DAICOS versus Geelong. Just picks that up. Famous name, famous number, famous club. It was a great call. And what I love about that goal is just how he was able to pick that up, sees the goal straight away, and then puts it straight through the middle from 45 out on a slight angle. I'm going to put that in good for most. What do I mean by good for most? Good for most players, but not for Nick, just because his standard and his bar is so high relative to every other player in the league. Let's look at number 2 now, and this is a game against Adelaide, and I think this was Nick's seriously coming out game. Like this game, watching it live, wow, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing in real time. I love that. The veteran and the rookie combine, says Kelly Underwood. Not her worst call either, to be fair. This game in particular, Collingwood were down early in the game by quite some margin. And this was a part of the comeback, and Nick had kicked a goal prior to this and ended up finishing on 3 goals. I just think that goal is just, it's a great goal because of the build-up, the link-up with Pendles, his protege, Nick DAICOS, finishing the job from outside 50 and just looking unbothered given the moment and the time and the context of the game. Where do I rank that? It's a tough one. I can't lie. So, firstly, I'm going to put that right now. It's now standard DAICOS, right? I wouldn't say it's Peter DAICOS-esque, and I don't think it's the best goal. So we will finish with the best goal as well, mind you. But for now, that's where I have these 2 goals ranked at. Now, this next one is one of my favourite goals from Nick DAICOS early in 2023, where Pendles links up with Nick DAICOS by the boundary, and Nick DAICOS does this essentially, so we'll see. Oh, better track him. I'm sure most of you noticed by now, when Nick DAICOS knows he's kicked the goal off his boot, he puts his hand up straight away. His guidance hand with the ball goes straight up, and I love that. But this was Collingwood's real statement game early in that year last year to say, hey, we're serious, and we absolutely pumped Port Adelaide in that game. And that was just, I guess, the apex or climax of that game, with Pendles basically passing over the baton to Nick DAICOS in this instance. So for now, I'm just because of how he had to brush off that tackle, and it was a 1-2, it was with Scott Pendlebury, context is important. I think that's Peter DAICOS-esque. I don't think it's quite the best because there's goals better than that, and that's hard to believe if you don't know who Nick DAICOS is, but keep watching and you'll find out. Now, this one was against West Coast last year over in Perth, and this was it felt like a training simulation game, but we'll see what happens here. Linking up with the GOAT. Very nice. The thing about that goal, and rings true every time, an opposition must have nightmares when they're running with Nick DAICOS in open space, is once Nick DAICOS gets a full head of steam and is running an open play throughout the centre, you can't catch him. You literally can't catch him. You can maybe hold him down in a stoppage, but once the ball opens and spreads out wide, good luck trying to catch him. And I love that link-up play from essentially the centre square, wing side, links up with the goalie, and then puts it through the 2 big sticks. So with that one, I think, where are we? Is it here? That's just a standard Nick DAICOS, I think. Great goal. For others, might be their best goal they've ever kicked. For Nick, it's just standard Nick. This next one is from the GWS game earlier this year in 2024. Not the result we wanted, but this moment. We'll talk about it in just a sec.
Nick DAICOS. Lipinski had the handball quickly, did well. Bobby Hill stops, gives it off, shoots, lost it. Taylor took it cleanly. Whitfield has options. Knew Canelio was there. Not sure he knew Lipinski was. Now it's DAICOS. He's kicked an absolute gem.
I just think the degree of difficulty on that goal, he's collected the ball from the ground, so he had to be clean below his knees. He's not even facing the goals. He quickly has to turn, scan where the goals are. Probably didn't even scan it, to be fair. He just knows where the goals are at that point. And then he check sides it off one step. Like, that is such a difficult goal. And for now, I think that belongs in Peter DAICOS-esque. It's just all within a spur of a moment. That's a crazy goal, and probably won't get the raps that it ever deserves because we lost, and it looks simple, but it's just executed to a T by the GOAT in Nick DAICOS. This one, just good stoppage work, really.
Cameron, DAICOS,
Yeah.
Nick, gets a clean look at it.
Very nice.
Favourite spot, nails the goal, Collingwood by a goal.
I love that one just because it's from a stoppage. Players are trying to check his runs, coming across him, and then he just takes the ball at full flight and then also breaks a tackle and snaps it, and it's against Carlton. So it's always going to get extra points when it's against your arch rivals. And that one will belong in good for most. But I did want to put it in there because it deserves a recognition. The next one is not too far away from the one we've just watched. Once again, it's against Carlton in a clutch moment.
Wins.
How much work he's doing.
No real winner. Players nervous. Ball
Wow.
Nick DAICOS, right foot snap. He's kicked the goal. DAICOS has kicked the goal.
You see, his stoppage work, like, he's so hard to catch on the move. If you watch that again with Sam Walsh chasing Nick DAICOS' tail, Sam Walsh stops running with him for half a second, and that's all Nick DAICOS needs. He's clean, takes the ball from that messy contest, and then puts it through, snaps it from the boundary. Like, it's a great goal. Is it his best, knowing what's to come? No, but it's Peter DAICOS-esque once again. Another good goal against West Coast from earlier this year. Gets a lucky bounce here. 55. As you do. I'm saying if he gets out of the front of that contest, nobody is stopping Nick. And we're going to put that in standard Nick DAICOS. I just think just because it comes straight out from the centre bounce, nobody touches it. It's just Nick DAICOS and the goals, and that's why it belongs in standard Nick DAICOS for now. Now then, this one against Brisbane. Wow. Oh, what a moment. Where were you when you were watching that moment? Like, we were up against it. We were down by 4 or 5 goals early in that first quarter against Brisbane, and then he just outruns Lachie Neale, the former Brownlow medalist from last year, says, hey, look what I can do. Can you catch me? Catch me if you can. You can't. I'm going to put this right through. Big moment in a big game where we were hanging on the edge of the cliff to remain a chance in finals. Didn't work out to be, but cometh the man, cometh the moment. Nick DAICOS puts it through. So, for me, that is that my best goal? I'm going to put that at Peter DAICOS-esque, okay? We're not quite there yet. We'll save the best for last. This one's also from the Brisbane game. Just how quickly Nick DAICOS gets that from hand to ball inside that contest, and then the way he executes the ball drop, so he gets it spinning the way it needs to get to get past the goal line without anybody interrupting the flight of that ball. It's okay, but I still wanted to include it because it's a crafty goal, so it's good for most, but for Nick DAICOS' standards, it's like, all right. And what you've all been waiting for, we're going to go to number 1, and wow, I wonder if you guys are going to disagree with this. Let's play it and see what you guys think.
Brother Cam, Nick, casual, delightful, to crisp for the 1-2. All part of the plan.
Ugh.
Sizes them up. They're going to get nicked. They're going to get duck off.
Okay, this is my favourite goal for many reasons. One is the commentary from Dwayne Russell, where he goes, when Bobby Hill drops the mark, he goes, oh, he's going to get it again. Nick's going to get it again. You're going to get nicked. And he sells candy to one of the Gold Coast defenders and puts it through. So that was one of the reasons why he gets 3 touches in one sequence. Like, that's almost goal of the year if it wasn't for Harley Reid's goal earlier this season. I'm not too sure where this will rank in goal of the year. We'll know on Brownlow night. But it was a big moment as well. De Goey and Nick DAICOS were unchained in that last quarter against Gold Coast. We didn't get the result, but wow, that was a massive, massive moment in the game. And for those very reasons, we're going with that one being my best. And I think we must say thanks to someone like Dwayne Russell to be able to grace us with that commentary and being able to read what was going to happen and just adding extra emotion to it. It's one of the best calls I've heard in recent times. So let me know what you think. I feel like I've done Nick DAICOS' goals justice. Is there a goal I missed as well, by the way? Let me know, and go Pies.